Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wa salamu ala sayyidil mursaleen. Wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Subhanaka la ilma lana innaka antal alimul hakim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal jawwadul karim. Rabbi zidni ilma. قال الإمام النووي رحمه الله تبارك وتعالى ونفعنا بعلومه في الدارين. قال عن أبي العباس سهل بن سعد الساعدي رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يوم خيبر: لأعطين هذه الراية غدا رجلا يفتح الله على يديه يحب الله ورسوله يحبه الله ورسوله. فبات الناس يدعون ليلتهم أيهم يعطاها. فلما أصبح الناس غدوا على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كلهم يرجو أن يعطاها. فقال: أين علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه؟ فقال: يا رسول الله هو يشتهي عينيه. قال: فأرسل إليه. فأوتي به فبصق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في عينيه ودعا له فبرئ حتى كأن لم يكن به وجع. فأعطاه الراية. قال علي رضي الله عنه: يا رسول الله يقاتلهم حتى يكونوا مثلنا. فقال: انفذ على رسلك حتى تنزل بساعتهم ثم ادعوهم إلى الإسلام وأخبرهم بما يجب عليهم من حق الله تعالى فيه. فوالله لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا خير لك من حمل النعم. متفق عليه. So continuing with the chapter of inviting and pointing people consciously and cognizantly towards good and righteous actions, and the benefits thereof, and the consequences of inviting towards non-righteous actions and wrongdoing. So on this hadith of Sa'd ibn Sa'd al-Sa'di radiallahu anhu, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam mentioned on the day of Khaybar, in other words, the battle of Khaybar, just before that battle, the day before it. So Nabi alayhi sallam said, he announced that I'm going to give the flag which is going to be held by the person who leads the forces and the troops into the battle. I'm going to give this flag tomorrow to a person whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give victory to on his hands. And this individual loves Allah and His Rasul, and Allah and His Rasul love him. So this is quite an auspicious, characteristic. So obviously everybody, who is this lucky person going to be? But the nas yadukun liyadum ayyum yurtaha. So the people will know who's going to get this honor and and get this, very elevated station. So when the morning came, everybody rushed towards the Rasulullah, and everybody obviously wants to be that lucky individual who's going to be given the flag. So Rasulullah at that point said, "Where's Ali ibn Abi Talib?" So there became obvious who is that person. So he said, "Ya Rasulullah, he is actually complaining about his two eyes. He's suffering, some problem with his eyes." So he said, "Send for him." So Ali was sent, and so Rasulullah spit into his hand and then put it into the eyes of Rasulullah and made some dua for him. And immediately his eyes were corrected, and they were as though there was nothing previously wrong with him at all. Barakat of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. So then Rasulullah gave him the flag, and then Ali radiallahu anhu said, "Ya Rasulullah, should we fight with them so that they become like us?" So Nabi sallallahu said, "Proceed, carefully, cautiously, and calmly, and when you get into their close proximity with them, into their area where you're in close proximity to them, now invite them to Islam." So in other words, the idea is not we're going into the battle and trying to take lives. We're trying to spread Islam. Jihad is about raising the kalima of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's about spreading the message of Islam. If somebody gets in the way and it becomes an obstacle, then he has to be removed. It's like you're going down the road and you're guiding the people and somebody gets in the way. So you remove them out of the way so that people can carry on with their journey. So, similarly, so Rasulullah told them, invite them to Islam and tell them and inform them what is, compulsory upon them and what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for them and what He orders them, etc. And what are the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and so forth. And he mentioned Rasulullah, this is the famous saying, فَوَاللَّهِ لَأَنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلًا وَاحِدًا, and by Allah, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides by you one individual, خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ حُمْرِ النَّعْمِ, it's better for you than a whole fleet of red camels. Now you could say the simile of that would be like a whole fleet of brand new Rolls Royces, because that was the best of the camels and the best of conveyance. So in other words, it's better for you than whatever the best wealth that you can imagine. So similarly, so by inviting, consciously in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, inviting people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if one person gets that guidance, it's going to be better for you than the world and all that it contains. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those blessed individuals. Ameen to Ameen wa akhir da'wana. Alhamdulillah.